Shut up and sit down.
Hello, gang. Colin here, Festa 67's workshop. And yes, folks, I am tentatively sitting in my chair at the bench under express supervised naggage from him with the express permission of you must be obeyed.
You who must be obeyed.
Well, yeah, it's one of them. I had to take this dip into the water at some point, and poor old Dad ain't feeling too good today. So
Get better soon, Dad. Big hugs.
He messaged us this morning, and I think he said at the end of Wednesday's stream that he might struggle to do the frolic. So me and you spoke yesterday, didn't we, and said that if all went well, I'd look at coming down. A good chat with a nurse and that today about plans, and yeah, so as long as I'm sensible, yeah.
Well, you said you were going to come down. I gave you a right good old-fashioned Jack Meadows bollocking, and then the nurse said it was okay. So
yeah, you know, it's different ways to do things.
Yeah.
So it'll be a couple of hours max on shows going forward for a bit until, you know, I can do things a bit longer term. But I've just got to take things a bit sensible. So that's enough of that old twaddle anyway. People don't want to hear about that. Let's have a looky-loo. Oh, let's have a looky-loo to see who's in the chat. Andy McClish is in saying boom, boom, ba-boom.
There is that. You can't really argue with that, can you, really?
No, you can't. He's also saying Fest Drugs, Fox asks, Dad hugs and angularity.
Did you say Fox asks?
See my ability of reading out loud has really improved.
Yeah. Festa hugs Fox arse. And, okay.
Yeah,
I don't want to know about that. Thank you very much. He's gone. Hello.
Smooth.
He's back.
I'm just moving that out of the way so I can get a bit nearer. So, yeah.
All right. You need to be close to Ted's hair.
Yeah. Mark Shellard's in saying hello, Mark. Hope you're doing all right.
Yeah.
And he says, oi, Shellard. There you go. Let's just move that out of the way. Jeff's in, Candygram for Mongo. Says, hi, Festa, hi, Fox. Hi, Andy, and hi, Mark. And I realised how bad my eyesight is.
You've got your chat like up on the ceiling again, haven't you?
Well, yeah, I've got these varifocals on in eyes. It was all right when I was in bed because the tablet's down there, but I'm like,
have you not got like your other 3 pairs of glasses you can wear at the same time?
I can't see out of them, mate.
I thought you got the hang of it with like 4 different pairs of glasses on at the same time.
No, I might actually. I'll tell you what I will do.
You're going to put on your lenses of seeing. That probably won't help. That's for close-up work.
Yeah, that's about as much use as on fish. That's
like trying to look at your own finger through a telescope. It's just not going to happen.
No, I'll just move myself a bit nearer.
There you go.
Andy McClish says El Jeffy. There you go.
El Jefe, what?
El Jeffy. El Jeffy.
Oh, El Jefe. I can't remember what that means. That's some kind of insult, probably.
Oh, well, there you go. I'm used to them. Andy says, I don't know how I managed it. I've burnt my tongue on salt, peppercorn kettle crisps. How the hell? Really?
Oh, yeah, if you eat anything really salty, like I can eat like a pack of Pringles, and then you get that kind of, it feels like you've burnt your mouth.
Oh, right.
It's like really salty food can do that.
Oh, I tend to get brain freeze when I have the milkshakes.
I get brain freeze because I'm an idiot.
Yeah, I mean, that's assuming I've got a brain to freeze, of course.
Yeah, I'll be back in 1 second, but I just need to go and check something. Back in 1 second.
Yeah. Candygram saying hello to me. Hello, mate. Hope you're doing all right. Horizontal Irish. Yeah. We're going for it, mate. We got copious amounts of gel cushions and things on the chairs. So, yeah. That's Fox saying evening one and all. He's also Candygram saying hello to Fox. Island Boy with an H is in. Says evening, Colin and everyone in chat.
I am
hello,
returned.
Geese. Hope you're doing all right, mate. Mar all right, yeah?
What, me? Oh, yeah, she's fine.
Yeah.
I heard a noise, I didn't know what it was.
He's saying model making guru L Fox Art. Absolutely.
L Fox Art. Is it my arse again, what?
Yeah, Fox Art. He's saying hello to Island Boy with an H.
With an H.
That's Fox saying man shot for man spawn. There you go.
Shop for mans. I like Andy because he's one of the only two people in the world that can remember my comic strips when required.
Yeah, I've seen a few of them.
No, there's obviously me and my friend Martin, who's the other character in it, and Andy, the only three people that can ever recall a comic strip at a moment's notice.
Yeah. Marcus Brun is in. Say morning, everyone. First time Friday frolicking.
Welcome, Marcus.
Welcome aboard, mate. And you're more than welcome to our inane world of shenanigans.
Yeah. Seen him in the 24-hour chat a few times.
Yeah, I've been getting the emails in, and it's been an hive of activity there, mate. How your lot finding it all right?
I haven't heard from anybody, to be perfectly honest. And I've not actually had a chance. I've not actually had a chance. Well, I've not actually had a chance to go in myself anyway, so really at all, into the chat. So if any of my people are out there watching and you're a patron or a member of my channel, you do have access to the 24/7 lives hangout and the Facebook chat. So do follow the link in the description below this live stream if you're one of my patrons or members, because you have access to that.
Jeff's saying you're in for a treat, Marcus. Yeah.
Hello, Me Foxx.
Someone messaged me earlier and said that they was getting a camera set up. Hello, Mum. You all right, darling?
She can't hear you through my ear.
Of course she can't.
She's already gone.
Plastic Monkey's in. Paul Shapland says, hello, Colin, Fox and everyone. How do, Paul? Hope you're doing all right, mate. Marcus says, agreed, was fantastic. Some fell asleep, so free again. Happy days, mate. That's me saying hello to Paul. That's Jeff saying hello to Paul.
Candygram for Mongo. Candygram for Mongo.
Cora Pink sneaked in and sat down. Hello, Cora. All right, love. Hope you're doing all right.
Hello.
That's everyone saying hello to each other there. The lovely Wendy Ixon with an H is in.
Does nobody ever say hello to nobody?
Oh, what?
They always say hello. They always say hello to everyone. But does anybody ever say hello to no one?
Yeah, they say hello to me, mate. I'm no one.
Okay. Who said that?
See what I did there? See what I did?
Who said that? I don't know who said that. Who turned out the lights?
Wendy Ixon saying careful hugs to me. I know, darling. I think I just read that out again, didn't I?
You did just read that out again, didn't I? Yeah.
That's Andy saying hello to Wendy. White Glove Models is in. He says hello. He says, what's up? I hope the day's been well. It's been all right, mate. It's been all right. Fox saying, I am welcome to your first frolic at Marcus Brun. I hope I'm saying your name right, mate, because I am notoriously bad.
Yeah, it's Fox. So you got it right. It's Fox. You're pronouncing it right. Because Fox isn't hard to pronounce. You weren't talking to me, were you?
I weren't, no. I can think of something I'd want to call you, but I'm not going to. Cora's saying hello to Andy.
You can do, because it's not my channel. I don't care.
That's you giving everyone.
It's not my monetisation.
You're bad. Yeah, you're trying to get me to swear. Andy says, lobs a squig at you.
Squig denied.
Wait, says Andy. No one has mentioned puffin technique.
Puffin tank. Strong tank. Puffin tank.
I know.
He just happens to fit if you really jam him in like a...
You golden zid saying hello to Jeff and Mark. You're on the juice pole. Island Boy says, evening, Edward Leonard. Hope you're well. Edward Leonard says, hi to everyone. Hello, Edward. Hope you're doing all right, mate. James is in from JC Bricks. Hello, Cora.
Hey, James.
I think that's everyone.
I saw a comment from Jamie at one point. Jamie's in.
Yes, his question. Does anyone know where to get 124th 1970s rally driver co-driver figures? There used to be a place, but I can't think of what it was called. But yeah, try a Google search, mate.
Yeah, Google's your friend.
you know, rally driver figures, 1970s motor racing figures, that sort of thing. Because it might be something. Go on.
I was going to say, I'm pretty sure Tamiya will do at least a figure because they've done a lot of 1970s kits of rally cars.
Well, you used to get the pit crews, didn't you, and all of that lot, and I'm sure there was some other accessories you could get.
I mean, I'd have a look on Google, but ultimately, check on... You might find there's like Tamiya or Italeri might do like figure sets for that kind of thing. But if you're looking for specific 1970s ones, if it's a 1970s rally car, probably eBay's your best bet because somebody might have a figure from a model. Somebody might have the driver from a 1970s Tamiya kit, for example. They're just selling the driver.
Yeah, could be something that they could take a silicone mould off and do a cold resin pour or something like that.
Yeah. Or get some milliput and sculpt one yourself.
Yeah.
Might take you like 10 years. Might take you 10 years to get the skills, but, you know, at least
mine would probably look like that one out of the Goonies, mate. You know, because, I'd be useless, wouldn't it?
I've never watched Goonies.
You Gordon says, who's the weird bugger with the hat? Yeah, me, mate.
Dad's taking a downturn, aren't
he? Yeah. Bless him. He's feeling a bit Pete Tong, mate, at the moment.
No. When you said who's the guy with the hat, I said, yeah, Dad's taking a downturn.
He's. I know. Went over my head, didn't it?
It did. It was
like Thursday.
It was like an airstrike.
Richie Lamb saying morning, Colin and Fox. Tampa's Hot Wheels is in saying hello, Festa. Hello, Tampa. All right,
hello,
mate.
Tampa, mate.
Giving it the all art a bit. Ross Medlock's in saying hello, Colin and Fox.
Evening, Ross. Evening, all.
And he's asking how everyone's doing. Fine and dandy, mate. Fine and dandy.
One day we'll have to cause chaos by just saying absolute rubbish. I'm doing absolute rubbish, and then where to go from that?
Absolutely, mate. I'm going down.
Have you ever done that when you've been speaking to someone and they say, "How you doing?" "I'm doing shit," and you're like, "Well, what do I do now?"
I go for that universal get out of jail free card that I use, which is fine, because. Yeah, you know, it's never going to be great, is it? So you just go, yeah, I'm fine.
But it's when somebody actually turns around and says, no, I'm doing shit, and you're like, oh, I don't really want to talk to you anyway, but I'm going to have to now, aren't I? Curses.
Paul from ISM's in says, good to see you at the bench, Colin. Yeah, I get called that a lot.
I love it when they call you Colin.
Oh, yeah. So they know what I'm like, don't they?
Oh, yeah.
Richie Lamb, Ross Medlock, Tampa's Hot Wheels, Edward Leonards is saying hello to everyone.
I'm actually going to do some painting today.
Fox. I know, I'm impressed, mate.
Are you honoured that I'm doing painting on your live stream?
Paul's correcting himself there with his spelling.
No, it's Colin's correct, Paul. Stick with Colin. It's much better that way. Just trust us.
Jamie says, just seen it. That's the driver I need, and indeed the co-driver to go to it. There you go, mate. So there you go.
That,
we got Jamie Bone. I think James sorted him out with a PM that he sent in.
Damn, that was fast.
That was.
We are good, aren't we?
You Golden with an H says, welcome back. Good to be back, mate.
Yeah. I've just dribbled paint out the back of my pot and I'm really angry now.
Oh, what you like?
Stupid bloody Citadel paint pots.
You're not happy unless you're dribbling everywhere, are you?
Well,
Richie Lamb says, nice to see you back.
Dribbling everywhere usually suggests that something good's happening, but not always, but usually. It's not my channel, I don't care.
James is saying cheers for coming into my stream earlier. It's my pleasure, mate. It's nice to get back and do something constructive. So
Hugh Gordon says evening to me. Hey Hugh.
It's tentative baby steps, but it's progress.
Yeah.
I'm just going to get my tablet of goodness running so I can...
but if at any point you need to call it quits or take a break or anything, just say, I don't mind soloing for 10 minutes.
Yeah, no worries, mate. You'll hear me move about and stand up and sit down and stand up.
Oh, yeah.
That's just par for the norm, mate. I'm trying to, dare I say it, keep all of that off camera because it's a modelling stream at the end of the day.
Yeah, it's family friendly.
Absolutely.
It's not family friendly. We're talking rubbish.
Absolutely.
I've got the sniffles already, haven't I? God damn it.
Yeah, got me obligatory 2 stalkers in. Yeah, I've missed you too.
Yay.
Yeah, got paid.
I got one the other day. I put a video up for one of my models that's up for sale. So it was just saying this model is for sale. And I still got a thumbs down. It's like, I'm just saying it's for sale. How can I get a thumbs down for that? Spin.
Well, I was upstairs. I think it was last week, and I'd forgot to put the E-Models bike one live on my channel. And I was scrolling through the videos. Oh, I haven't released that. I'll release that. Give people something to watch it. 58 seconds it took to get the thumbs down. It was like, yeah, me stalker's following me.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Oh, Edward Leonard says, Squishy isn't happy because I didn't do that thing. Hang on, I've got to do the thing.
Oh, there you go.
I'll do 3. There you go. I'm never facing the right
sound
way.
effect.
I can't do it with my left hand.
No, poor you.
Squishy may not have a brain, but he knows, and he's the sole survivor. We've got to look after our sole survivor. He gets whatever treats he wants.
It's a rather splendid paint job, that.
I beg your pardon?
So that is a rather splendid paint job.
Well, thank you very much. It's all lies. It's all dry brushing.
Yeah, he paid me to say that.
Yeah. Checks in the post. Allegedly. Wait, what do you mean? Then again, I'm not good with stamps, so you might not get it.
Yeah, still ain't got the tea bags.
I'll just have to send some more, won't I? God damn it. I don't know what it is with your postman then, like Dad's got his.
Oh, he's probably got a nice flask full of it.
He probably has, yeah. Your postman's like, I'll have a bit of that, thank you very much.
Oh,
Thank you very much. Oh, the same. Lovely.
Probably some. I smell Barry's tea.
Barry's
tea. 3 for £1.
I actually went onto the Barry's Tea website the other day.
Oh, right, yeah.
They do many different types of tea.
Yeah.
The one we've got, the gold stuff, is like their standard tea, but they also do like a luxury gold, black label tea as well.
Oh, right, yeah.
And they do an Irish breakfast tea. But they also do all that nonsense like green tea and herbal crap that the tree-hugging, sandal-wearing simpletons like to drink. But I don't vibe with that tree-hugging nonsense.
Back, mate, will ya?
Yeah, all these eco-warrior types with the essence of, I don't know, nonsense tea. It's not builder's tea. Fancy rubbish.
It's all namby-pamby, isn't it?
It's all, namby-pamby, frilly sleeve nonsense. Just give me tea. Normal black tea for normal people.
It's that Greta's fault, isn't
it? Yeah. I think she's top there. She's just saying to all the politicians, shut up.
Oh, you've got to admire her determination.
Oh, God, yeah. This is great. Doo-doo-doo. So anyway, what are you working on, dear boy? Because I've forgotten now. It's been so long.
I am doing the Alt Battle Wagon.
Alt Battle Wagon.
That ka-ching thing.
Big mahoosive behemoth.
Yeah. So just trying to remember where I got to with it, to be honest with you.
I don't really think that... Does that really apply to your builds, though? Because you just kind of fettle... Your entire process is fettling from start to finish, so it doesn't really matter, because you just dive in and carry on whatever you think's about right.
Just... Yeah, where my train of thought was going with it. Like I say, it's just sub-assemblies and that at the moment. So yeah. I think I've got a bit of gunnage to make and stuff like that. So there's enough to be doing.
Yeah, oh yeah. But that's the beauty of your building technique, is there's no real... It's not like you've got a start, middle and end. It's just like... It's just fettling from start to finish, so...
Oh yeah, there's no real plan to it.
You can just dive in wherever you need to. Where was I up to? Don't care. I'm going to stick that on there. There you go, done. I was going to send you, by the way.
You
know that first piece of music when you have your pre-roll always reminds me of the soundtrack from Persona 4. I was going to send you a link so you could download the Persona 4 soundtrack.
All right, yeah.
And then I realised since the big hard drive crash of 2017, it's long gone. It was lost, so I'll have to download it from somewhere. I'll have to find it.
Yeah, I had one of them, and it cost me quite a lot of my early videos. Yeah. I often get messages going, "Oh, where's part 3 of this? Where's part 2 of that?" And it's like, yeah.
Well, I think I got it originally. I can't remember where I got it originally from, but you can't get it now. I have to actually physically buy a CD of it. It's like,
oh, that's even worse. When you got to go out and buy it.
I can't remember where I actually got the soundtrack. It's a great soundtrack. It's a mixture of, well, it's basically that first piece of music on your pre-roll. That's like standard Persona 4 combat music. When you hear it, you'll know, with a hint of K-pop. It's a really good soundtrack. It's a really good game, actually.
So that's where you lost me now, K-pop. Like, yeah,
I wouldn't normally recommend K-pop. You ask Dave Barker about that. For some reason, they have a good knowledge of Korean pop music in that family. It's kind of disturbing.
That's Pip's doing. That was. Yeah.
Well, it is, but the fact that Dave Barker knows about K-pop just leaves me needing some kind of shower or something.
Yeah, he did get rather knowledgeable on the subject, didn't he?
Yeah. Him having extensive knowledge of the music of teenage girls makes me a little squirrely. I don't know. Love you, Dave, but it's still weird.
He is a character, bless him.
Yeah.
They broke the mould when they made Dave.
Oh, yeah.
He reminds me of that character out of Dick Emery way back. You know, the Dad, I think I've done it wrong again, bloke, you know.
Oh, where he's playing like the young lad.
Yeah. It just always reminds me of Dave, that does.
For some reason, the only Dick Emery character I can remember a character is "Oh, you are awful."
Yes.
It's the only character I can remember.
Yeah. Probably for the best.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Yeah, I don't think it would be appropriate these days.
No.
It's off its time.
For some reason, doing this part of the chipping on the other Bane blade took like an hour. This has taken like 4 or 5 hours so far.
Yeah, but you're doing different. Are you doing different shades then for the different colours?
Well, yeah, I've done 3 different base chipping colours, like a light green, a light blue, and a light tan. And now I'm just doing the sort of rust interior colour. But doing this bit, that all the base colours were done with sponges, so that was like 10 minutes. But for some reason, this step of doing the rusty interior bit is just taking a lot longer than on the other one. I don't know why, but it's actually weird. I'm being all delicate with my chips. I'm doing lots of tiny chips. I'm under-weathering, which isn't natural for me.
It's going to say, bloody hell, you sure you're feeling all right?
I know. So it's like, I'm not going to be able to do like a proper old gunk wash later because it'll just get rid of all the chips. I'm going to have to like do proper armour painters weathering styles with like pin washes and shit. I don't quite know how it's happened.
Things I never thought I'd see Fox are doing under chipping.
I know, me turning into like Scott Sutherland or something.
Yeah, understated.
Doing like, Puffin King level weathering steps. Wrinkly noises and crinkly noises. Now, apologies if I don't pay much attention to the chat, but when I'm doing this chipping, my attention is solely focused on the tiny little molecules of paint I'm putting down.
I shall have a look at chat in a sec.
I'll do my best. I'll do my best to chat Dolly while I'm.
That's all right, mate. I should have a looky-loo in a sec. I was just trying to find where I put my Citadel scraper. I can't remember where it went.
Do you want mine? I'll throw mine over if you want.
That's all right, mate. I had it, but I've got a feeling it's...
I got it. I don't got it.
Pardon me. I've got a feeling it's in the Kshatriya box.
Is that upstairs?
I think it may well be, yeah.
That'll learn you.
Right. Lesson learnt.
You'll have to do it the old-fashioned way with the knife blade and the swearing.
Yeah, I've got me knife ready.
Yeah, that first tune on your pre-roll stuck in my head for about 3 days last week.
Did it mess with you? Did it?
Oh yeah,
keep you awake at night?
I've got some comments aimed at me. Hang on. You mean Parker Jackets and Sensible Shoes Brigade? Andy McLeish says. No, the people that drink like stupid fruit teas and stuff, they're all sandal-wearing, crystal-worshipping, tree-hugging Ponzi types. Flipping
don't hold back, mate. Will you?
Middle-class Ponzi hippie types with their chiropractic and their crystal therapy and their nonsense with their stupid rubbish.
Toyota Prius on the drive.
No, they'd probably still have a... Oh, I'll tell you what, that just reminded me. When I took my car in for its MOT and I took it back a week later for some extra work, the MOT cost me 45 quid, the extra work cost me £1.50. It failed on like 35p's worth of stuff because they had to replace a wiper blade, but it didn't. But its advisories came to £1.50.
Oh, that's a killer, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like, these aren't urgent, but you should get them done. Oh, okay. And I've still got to get the clutch done yet. Anyway, I went in to go and get the car when I had it in for some extra work. And bugger me, right, I walked in and parked in front of my car was a perfect, and I mean showroom clean, pristine, like 1984 Citroen Diane.
No.
In like the red and like the red wine and cream colour scheme. Yeah. And I was like, I said, wow, that is in gorgeous condition. The guy says, oh yeah, he brings it here all the time. It's amazing. He just really looks after it. And I'm like, I mean, I know the shit, but I still want one.
Yeah.
Because it was like showroom condition. It really looks after it. Whoever owns it.
Yeah, that's when you go, yeah.
I always wanted a 2CV. I don't know why.
There was something quirky about them, wasn't there?
Yeah. But that was 1980s hippie car. A middle-class sandal-wearing, tree-hugging type people car.
Oh, yeah. It had to have its obligatory sun-bleached copy of The Lord of the Rings on the rear shelf.
Oh, yeah. That was proper nuts in May kind of things. But you must chew 1,000 times.
Beaded seat cover.
Oh, yeah. But I don't know what the modern equivalent of the white middle-class hippie, earth-worshipping, sandal-wearing plonker driving a 2CV. I don't know what the modern equivalent car is, apart from, say, a Prius, but no, that seems a bit expensive. I honestly
wouldn't know.
It's probably still a 2CV. Probably is, isn't it?
Because it's pretty much Chelsea tractors now everywhere, isn't it?
Yeah. I don't know. Hugh Gordon says, Hugh Gordon says, but Fox, you'll be asking for 250 plus for the finished article, time in motion with me doing these chips. A lot more than 250. Yeah, I'm not asking for 250 for one of these. But the thing is, if I realised I'm undercharging for my stuff, because if I actually charge minimum wage for a model that I've painted, you'd be paying like 800 quid for a Bane blade, which is never going to sell at 800 quid. Not unless you're famous.
Mind you, stranger things can happen.
That's true. I don't know what price I'll be putting on these. I'll probably sell them together.
That's the hardest thing, isn't it? Is putting a price on it, because, like you say, when you sit there and work it out for the hours it's taken and all of that, yeah, 800-900 quid's about right.
Yeah.
But when you say that to someone, you can actually physically see their chins hitting the floor.
Well, that's the thing. Like, if you spend 100 hours on a model, minimum wage, that means it's £1,000.
Yes.
More or less. But that doesn't mean you're going to actually sell it for £1,000, because there might not be a price that model would sell for. Art is a really strange thing to value. If you're not like a famous artisty type, then it's a trade-off.
Put a price on it.
Yeah, it's a trade-off between what your time is worth and what kind of price you can command. It's only if you're like a well-known artist or famous that you can start asking for more than the time put into it. I don't have that cachet. I'm not famous. Yeah. So what's the modern equivalent of like a hippie? It's not really hippie, is it? Because they were like the kind of person I'm thinking of is the middle class kind of tree hugging, save the whales CND type in the 80s.
Yeah.
I don't know what
it would be.
Yeah, the modern equivalent. What car would they? I mean, in reality, they're probably the same people. So they're probably like driving a 2001 Nissan Micra or something.
Either that, or they've got an old Volkswagen bus.
Well, no, because they're expensive now. They're like collector's items, so they wouldn't buy one of them. See, if they're affluent middle class, they'd have like a Tesla or something, or an electric vehicle. But if they're not, then I'd probably have an old Nissan Micra, I reckon. I think it's a very peculiar to the British people kind of character anyway.
Yeah. Mind you, though, it's been a while since I've seen a proper hippie sandal wearer.
Yeah.
I think they are still out there. It's a bit like goths.
I don't think hippie's the right word, because hippie is a whole different country's a whole different thing. It's I don't really know what you call them. They were always like middle class. They were always like, not affluent, but they were, they worked in an office and they had a job. But they'd be all save the whales, and they'd all be, be eating vegetarian stuff, but they wouldn't necessarily be vegetarians. I don't really know what you call them.
No, they were fad chasers, weren't they? Yeah. Whatever was the latest fad, they would suddenly become an ambassador for it, and it's like...
Yeah, if you've ever seen the Mike Leigh play Nuts in May, it's that kind of character.
Yeah.
But I've got that tune in my head. Doodle doo doo, doodle doo doo. I had a Triumph Spitfire, says Edward Leonard. If you open the door, your nuts would drag on the road. Oh yes, my brother used to have a Spitfire. My friend Martin's got a GT6 that he's been restoring for the last 25 years.
Oh right, yeah. That's what we want.
Hugh Gordon says, you get me to bespoke some woodwork, I can't charge by the hour.
Well, that's the thing, isn't it? Anything like that's handmade, handcrafted or whatever, it's going to cost money.
Yeah. White Glove says, sadly, people don't look at it that way anymore. They want it for as cheap as they can and don't care about the time and effort you put into it. Because people are used to getting pilot high, sell it cheap stuff.
Yeah. It's that classic question, isn't it? What price on art?
Yeah. It's like, I've come across people that have asked me to, they haven't asked me to do a Baneblade, but for the sake of argument, to keep things simple.
Yes.
People who will have, imagine, I've had the conversation, how much is it to paint a Baneblade? Well, what's your budget? Well, the kit's 80 quid, so 100 quid, and I'm like, you want me to paint a Baneblade for 20 quid? See ya. I don't. Well, what should I charge you? I don't know. How about start at about $3.99 and work your way up?
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
Some people think that
paint it myself then. Okay.
Okay, off you go. Yeah, there are people that think it's the cost of the kit plus a bit on top for your time. It's like for the favour they're doing by asking you to paint it. Like no.
Well, yeah. I had one where, like I say, a kit turned up and they'd got the kit and the paint. And you're like, yeah. You could kind of see where it was going, where they thought, well, if I've supplied the kit and the paint, that's all I need to do. And it's like, okay, what about my time?
Yeah. Yeah, you're not paying. You're not paying. You pay me. You don't go to the mechanic and throw him 20 quid for the parts, and then expect him to fit an engine for free, do you? No.
Exactly, that part on the invoice where it says labour.
You don't get the builders in to put an extension on your kitchen and just pay for the bits they're going to install.
Yeah. Some people would probably think that that's what you do, mate.
How much to install this £10,000 kitchen extension? About 40 grand.
Yeah.
Huh? Yeah, you're not just paying for the kitchen extension, love. But there are people that think it's the cost of the kit plus a tenner on top. It's like, no, the cost of the kit is the least of your charges.
Yeah, I mean, it is difficult, especially when you're first starting out, because, like you say, you don't know what to charge, do you? And I just used to say to people, well, look, there's a load of photos of what I've done. Go and ask someone else. There's my last, say, 2-3 commissions that I've done.
Yep.
There's their contact details. By all means, have a chat with them. If you're still interested, come back.
I mean, when I was doing commissions, I kind of learnt to get quite brutal. That, to save myself pulling my hair out trying to figure out what I thought my work was worth, which is a pointless thing to do because you don't know.
No.
I just literally said, right, well, minimum wage times hours. So people would say, someone say, how much would it be for this kit? And I'd be like, well, I estimate it will take this many hours, so this many pounds. And 5 times out of 10, they'd be like, oh, it's too expensive. And I'd learn to be harsh and just say, well, come back when you think it's not too expensive then. And then just say, well, you have to go and find someone else. Because I know that for every person that were like, oh, it's a bit rich, there'd be somebody else saying, yeah, that's fine.
Trying to think who it was that really went overboard and overpriced something, and the customer's like, yeah, no worries. Trying to think who it was.
I mean, that's the thing. The reality is that no matter what price you put on your work, there'll always be someone who'll be willing to pay it.
Yes.
Because, people value money differently. A tenner might be a lot of money to you and me.
Yeah.
But to some people, it's not even a penny. That.
No, that's it.
So
chump change, in it, as they would call it.
So when you're valuing your own work, you have to take on the mindset that if you sit there and you think, I've put 100 hours into this, but I can't really ask for £1,000. That's a lot of money for a plastic model.
Yeah.
But then you have to think, but that £1,000 is chump change to someone, and that someone is the person that will say, yeah, that's fine, I'll pay that.
Yeah.
So no matter how much you think it might be, there's always somebody who's happy to pay it. So I in the end, I learned to get quite brutal. And if I said, how much is it? It's this much. Oh, that's a bit rich. I'd say, well, okay, then bye. That's the price.
Well,
Come back.
It's like the Warhammer. We've said it before, innit? There's a lot of people out there, excuse me, that want to play the game, but can't paint. So they're willing to pay people that can to build that army for them.
Yeah.
So fair play to them at the end of the day, because like you say, they're that keen on the game. If they've got the disposable income to do it, and that's how they want to do it, good luck to them.
Yeah. But that's the thing you have to remember is, like I say, what's a lot of money to one person is nothing to someone else. And there's always somebody who will think that whatever price you put on it is reasonable.
Yeah.
Because they value, they might value the end product a lot more than however much it costs.
Yeah.
Or they might have an understanding of, that, I've spoken to people who I've put a price on something thinking they're never going to pay that. And they've happily paid it because they, although they don't make and paint models, they do something else that requires like a craft, and they understand the work that goes into it. So they're happy to pay. They say, oh yeah, that's fine, because I understand you could put 100 hours into it. That's no problem, because I'm a carpenter or blacksmith or something, and I understand the concept.
Yeah.
So they understand what stuff's worth.
It's like computer coders, isn't it?
Yeah.
That can charge a small fortune for their time writing code. Well, the reason they can do that is because, it is a key service, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, you do have to get quite harsh in the end. And just say to people, that's the price, end of. Well, but, sorry, that's the price. If you can't afford it, come back when you can. Or find someone else who'll do this amount of work for not enough money.
I think that's why a lot of us move away from commission stuff quite early.
Yeah, I don't do it anymore. It's far too stressful, in all honesty.
Yeah.
I'm much happier just making something and then selling it than actually making something on demand. I've got that tune in my head still. Doodle doo 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 doo.
Oh, being that you love it that much, I'll send it over to you.
It floats my boat, man. When I eventually get the Persona 4 soundtrack, I'll have to add it into the soundtrack. But when I get it, I'll send it up. I'll upload it to the Google Drive and send you a link for it. You'll like it.
You'll have it as a ringtone next. Can see it.
Well, I've got Persona 4 as the ringtone.
Yeah.
I think. Oh no, I've got Boogeyman from Fallout 3. Persona 4 tune is my alarm, my timer alarm, I think. It all comes back to supply and demand. Most trades are cutting corners, finding time savers in order to make a profit. Specialist work is tough to find. Custom. Yep.
Yeah, absolutely. Couldn't agree more.
Burpage. Time is money, says Edward Leonard. Unless you're Roland from Borderland, in which case time is bullets.
That's the point. I'm surprised. Are you having withdrawal symptoms from your Skyrim?
I've not been on the Xbox for a while. I've actually not been on my Xbox for so long that I unfortunately forgot to keep up with my Xbox points and ended up paying for another year and got Xbox Live Gold.
Oh no.
I do the thing every day where you get your couple of 100 points by doing like little... You go onto the Xbox rewards thing and you do a couple of little quizzes and you get like 100 points and you build it up to 6,500 points each month. That then gives you a free month of gold.
Oh, happy
so
days.
Theoretically, if you remember to do it every day, you never have to pay for Xbox Live Gold. You just do a couple of quizzes. But I keep forgetting. So I've just paid for another year of Xbox Live. I'm like, oh well.
Yeah.
Because you can easily rack up, a few hundred points each day. And it's things like, a quick quiz or a little poll about something.
Yeah.
Or, click on this thing to read about this new game and you get 20 points. It takes you 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Do 10 do 10 searches on Bing. I nearly said Google Bing then, which is kind of ironic. Every time I keep saying that, every time I say Google Bing, I can hear somebody at Microsoft just like curling up and dying.
Yeah, guys.
Oh. Anyway, what's happening in Festaland? Enough about me. I've talked now. I'll go quiet. You can talk.
Well, just doing things slowly but surely, getting back into things, and
cool story, bro.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, well, there's not an awful lot been going on because I've not been doing an awful lot. For me, it's like where to start to play catch up.
Oh, hello. Strangle that duck.
Yeah, bit of Donald Duck for you there. Yeah. It's where to start to play catch up. Catch up.
What was that? I've never heard a sneeze like that before. Is that because you're trying not to fart at the same time?
Yeah, it's called puckering and sneezing at the same time.
Wow.
No, it's where to start really, because like I say, I've got so many half-finished projects. So it's just getting back into things really.
Yeah. Well, you could tell us all about what you've been doing with the hatchery.
Yeah, I've been scribing it and figuring out things because it's going to end up as a steampunk Gundam Kshatriya. So Chris has messaged me today. He's sending me some watch parts as well as Tony. So
did Tony get in touch with you? Yeah.
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
Lovely. He said he was going to message you directly.
Yeah. So I'm playing with ideas with that. It's like anything at the moment because I don't know how I'm going to react until tomorrow to doing this today. I can't really get in too deep to any builds at the moment because if suddenly it was a bit soon, I need to take a bit more time away. You've started to get your mojo back and then suddenly it's been taken away from you again. So I'm just kind of unsure how to go, mate.
I would just say blow your nose first of all. I would just say while you're at the bench, treat it like it's just normal bench time. But then afterwards, obviously, if you have to stop for a bit, then it's not the end of the world, is it?
Exactly.
If you were too early, it doesn't really matter. You can come back to it.
Exactly.
Fog's rolling in. I've just spent, what, 5 minutes painting all the little rust chips on there. See that?
And you're going to paint over it, ain't you?
No, what I'm going to do is when I put the turret on there, it's basically, goodbye.
Yeah, that's about as... Yeah, that's not very sensible, was it?
Well, it's removable. So, yeah. I'm not going to glue the turret down because that's going to be their handy little storage space, you see, because what they can do is they can put the... oh, no, they can't. They don't. Yes, they do. No, they don't. They can put dice in there or something. I don't know. Fill it with something.
You're not bothered.
Okay, once it's gone, once it's been sent off to a buyer,
it's the buyer's. It's the buyer's choice. Then,
how many models have you got where it comes with a handy storage space for your dice and tokens? Huh? Exactly. And how many models have you got that are signed by an idiot? Exactly. Yeah.
Well, pretty much all of mine have got signatures and eggs and bits of raggy and
Music's still in my head.
It's funny. It's the first thing I did when I sat down before the show is I just caught sight of the insane blade sitting there. It's Colin to me, mate.
That is truly something to. I am saving pennies to pay you to commission you to build an insane blade, but obviously not like that one. It's something you need to be able to put into a box and send to me, obviously. But just to build because I want to paint an insane blade.
You want to do one, don't you, mate?
I do.
Know you do.
I do.
It'll happen.
I want to paint the orcs. I've only painted 2 orc. Well, I've painted 1 orc and 1 grot when I did the Dakajet. And I've got to tell you, like painting a normal dude is quite hard, but painting an orc skin is actually quite easy to paint because it's so over muscled.
Yeah.
That you can get the highlights and the shade on it quite nicely. But trying to paint a human skin like a face is quite tricky because you've got subtle blends of like you can't have like massive. If I paint a human face and it's got like a stark highlight, it looks really stupid. But if you do orc flesh, because it's like big, massive, bulbous muscles, you can get away with a lot of contrast between the highs and the lows. So when I did that orc pilot for that Dakajet, it was great fun. I was like, this is brilliant.
Candy Grand for Mongo's going, dice in the model? Nonsense. It's got to be an hidden snack compartment.
I mean, you could maybe get a wrap in there.
Yeah.
I mean, it's going to be varnished and stuff, but because that's going to go on top. Unfortunately, I glued the barrel onto the other one, so if somebody buys these as a pair, this is your only storage option. Is this one? So I mean, you could get your dice in there. I was hoping that you could put your turrets in, but I've glued them together, and unfortunately, they might fit. The sponsons might go in there. See, what you can do is put the sponsons. Put your sponsons in there, and then they won't fit.
Yeah, look at that.
No, won't fit. No, there's issues. So sadly, now I've glued the turret onto the sponson.
Just can't get staff.
No.
I try so hard, and yet you just cannot get quality staff these days.
No. I mean, you don't expect...
Send me.
You spend this kind of money on a model, you don't expect sponsor issues, but... Oh, can I point out, by the way, I don't know if you'll see it, but there's a little bit of green paint on the back of my hand.
Oh, right, yeah.
That was from Tuesday, when I was doing some dry brushing. Yeah. And it was Nurgling green that I was dry brushing these highlights on with, and it survived Wednesday, Thursday and Friday, many hand washings, and 2 showers, and it was still, when I took Mama Foxx to the hospital today for a checkup, and it was still there on the back of my hand, and it's like... I wasn't deliberately trying to scrub it off, but I wanted to see how long it would stay on my hand. 3 days?
Because I saw the picture on there, and it's like, I may have been doing this, and I'm like, that was really well for you, isn't it?
That was the blue paint, but it was the green that stuck on there. And like I say, I wasn't deliberately trying to scrape it off, but it survived many hand washings and 2 showers. So, Nurgling green, it's pretty hardcore paint.
Note to self: don't put Nurgling green on that list.
Oh yeah. Exactly how much paint do you eat per model, Fox? Oh, all of it. I am a brush licker, I have to say. I am absolutely a brush licker. Tune's still in my head. Doodle doo doo. It's when it goes to the little chorus bit and the little Hammond organ, the rock organ kicks in chord, and that's exactly Persona 4. You'll see when I found the soundtrack. I'll send it to you. Not all the tracks, but some of the battle music.
Yeah, it's in your head though. That's the thing. It's there.
Yeah. And every time I hear that on the old pre-roll, it makes me want to go in the loft and actually get my PS Vita out and play Persona 4 Golden.
Well, for a long time, I was asked to do a pre-roll on the shows, so people knew the show was actually going ahead, but also they knew they had that 5 minutes. They a bit like yourself when you do your 5-minute intro, isn't it?
Yeah.
It courted a bit of controversy at first. First lot of music, it was "We're falling asleep." It's too ambient for your channel because I am a bit of a metalhead. So the rock music was put in, and it's
People need to learn to just accept what they're given.
Absolutely, it's Marmite. You either like it or you don't.
Yeah, when it comes to a YouTube channel, you accept what you're given. And you just
but for me, it's a lot easier because I know whilst that's playing, I can potter around and prep, and you can hear it in the background.
You can go and do pooping and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I will admit, once or twice I've had my pre-roll going. In the days when I had a 15-minute pre-roll and had to go and do emergency pooping, it wouldn't normally be emergency, but I realise I've got like 15 minutes. I'm like, oh crap! But I need to go, and I've got no choice. And there's been, that's when you sit on the loo and you're sitting there going, please be a clean break, please be a clean break.
Well, that's the beauty of these Wi-Fi headphones, see, because you can keep them in whilst you go upstairs, see, and I can still hear the music, So it's like,
yeah, just make sure your Wi-Fi headphones is not a Wi-Fi headset with a microphone.
Oh, I made sure of that when I bought them.
Yeah, don't do it. Don't be like TK.
No, I'm not going to do a TK.
Oh, yeah.
Bless him.
He never will live that down. He never will live that down.
No. Dad with his infamous
bless him.
Yeah.
Get better soon, Dad.
Yeah,
don't like Dad being not well.
He's knackered, bless him. He messaged
he's an old fella.
He says, I just want to sleep. That's not what's wrong with me. So you need a rest. That's what's wrong with you.
Yeah.
I said, you have been kind of covering my arse for the last few weeks, mate. It's probably caught up with you a bit. Have a breather.
Yeah. A lot of arse to cover.
Not so much now.
Well, yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I don't think I'd ever get mistaken for J-Lo.
Many years ago, I used to work in an office, and it was an office that was majority of the staff were women. But I used to love it, because all the people I worked with were fantastic. All the girls were like great, and they were all a lot of them were like kind of real tomboyish, and a lot of them were just like the real sort of. They'll talk about anything and don't give a crap. Thank you very much. They weren't timid, meek women, and they're having this conversation one day because there's only a few of us blokes there, and they were sat there having this conversation about who had the nicest butt, who had the best arse. And they were comparing all the guys in the office, because one of the guys was stood on one of the desks changing one of the strip lights. So this conversation started about who had the nicest bum. And because I sat on the section with them, so I was kind of one of them. I didn't get factored into it.
Oh, brilliant.
I was like a token girl on their group, so I was. So they were all like just having this conversation, and I'm sitting there thinking, what about me?
Yeah.
So there was, he's got a nice bum, and So I said, hang on a minute. I said, what about me? You just missed me out completely. She went, oh yeah, I forgot about you. And then she looked at me and went, you haven't really got an arse. You don't really count.
Yeah.
I said, what do you mean? She said, you haven't really got a bum, have you? Your trousers just stop. Thanks.
Yeah, it's like there's no squeezability.
Yeah, I'm like, okay, fine. But it was quite funny because I was on their section. I was just counted as one of the girls, basically. I never got included in the discussions about blokes.
Oh, mate, my missus is just brutal, mate. She just says it as it is. It's like no holds barred. It's like
that's why I like the women that I used to work with, because they were just like say it as they saw it.
Oh yeah,
they weren't delicate ladies.
No, I've always admired that about my missus. There's no BS, mate. It's what you see is what you get.
She's the biggest bloke you know, kind of thing.
Oh yeah, can be brutal sometimes, but in a good way, not nasty. You know what I mean? It's just...
The thing is with me, I've never really liked these sort of girly women that are all like do makeup and nails and stuff. It just bores me. I'm not interested in that. I much prefer women that are like boisterous and blokey and a bit, you know.
Oh,
because
yeah.
they're just more fun to talk with and hang out with and more interesting.
Yeah, no. My missus, she'll just go, really? Is that what you think? Ah. You know it's not going to happen. I go, yeah, but it's worth a try. Bless you, she said. After all these years, you still try. I go, yeah, well. She said, I'm never going to let me guard down. Give up whilst you're behind. Okay, love.
I'm going to guess that H has mastered two major skills with you. One is the art of using the word whatever correctly.
Yeah.
Which is every man's worst nightmare is the word whatever. It's the best weapon to use against a man is the word whatever. And the other one is, I've just forgot what I was going to say. Oh yeah, the other one is how you could basically. I've always said that if you want to, the one thing that women can do better than men is to end a conversation by whatever they say. It comes across as you and what army.
Yes,
they won't say those words specifically, but whatever they say, it'll be like they've just said, and you just kind of go, okay, I'll shut up.
Yeah, my missus just normally turns around, looks at my boy and goes, oh, bless him, thinking he's in charge. Really? And she says it in such a belittling way, and it's like, you're
right.
Drained any sense of masculinity that I thought I had. Yeah.
That you like to think that you had.
Yeah. It's after all these years, he still tries to think he's in charge. It
makes it worse is, she's right.
Absolutely.
You're like, yeah, you're not wrong there, love. I'll just shut up.
Yeah, and they like to say you saunter off to the kitchen and all you've got is the Incredible Hulk walking away music in your head.
What you should do is just, if that ever happens, just sit there and go, Ronnie Corbett.
Yeah.
And the reason I say that is for the old That Was the Week That Was sketch where they have the upper class, middle class and lower class, and Ronnie Corbett's like, I know my place.
Yeah. John Cleese and Ronnie Barker, wouldn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. I'm upper class. I'm middle class. I know my place.
Yeah.
Music's still in my head.
The thing is, you've got to be laying there now, staring at every single spider that you can imagine is there, and that music ain't going to leave you.
It really is. I don't know if the composer was deliberately trying to make Persona 4 combat music, but he got it perfect. If I didn't know, I'd say it was the same composer that did the actual soundtrack.
Got it bang on, did he?
Yeah, it's absolutely, even just down to the use of the organ, the rock organ for some sort of chords. It's just absolute spot on. I can't remember the composer's name though.
It's Marmite music. You either love it or you don't. Hello, John. Are you all right? John Pole's in chat. Says hello,
John.
Colin. Welcome back. Hello, John. Good to be back, mate. Early days, but I'm having, it's one of them. Got to have a go, ain't you? You got to push yourself.
Every time you say hello, John, I'm disappointed when you don't go. Got a new
moat.
Got a new moat.
Yeah. Hello, John. Got a new moat. Lexi Sal.
And for some reason, I've also got in my head now a little bit of toast. And I can't remember anything else about that song at all, apart from a little bit of toast. Oh, the 1980s had some good moments, I suppose.
Oh, absolutely. That and Einstein, I Gogol.
Oh, no, copyright, shut up. Shh.
Yeah. That's all right. It's in there, isn't it, mate? It's in your head.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I'll tell you what, my car stereo is on its last legs. It's an old 2002 Fiesta, so it's the original Fiesta Ford CD player. And it started being really weird that it wouldn't play CDs. And I don't listen to the radio because it's boring. So I'm like, So I've been driving around in silence or just singing dead loud, but without actually having any music. And about a week ago, it just started randomly playing CDs. I'm like, oh! But if I changed track, it would stop playing. So I had to basically let the CD just play from track 1. And
all the way through.
And then just let it loop. So I've been stuck listening to, not stuck, but I've been stuck listening to the Deep Space Nine soundtrack for the last 3 weeks because I didn't want to take the CD out and jinx it. So today I was like, right, I've got to nip to Tesco's. I'll see if I can get ELO out of the blue in there. So I popped the CD out before I turned the engine on.
Yeah.
Put the CD in, turned on the engine, and lo and behold, here comes ELO out of the blue, track 1. Oh, happiness. So I'm driving along, dead happy, singing my lungs out. Anybody driving past would just see me catching flies with my gob wide open, singing away. And just as I got to Tesco's, hit a little pothole, and it made the CD skip, and then it won't play now. I'm like, oh! I've got a couple of weeks. Oh, I don't want to buy a new stereo, but I think I'm going to have to.
Oh, bless you.
I assume nowadays you get car stereos where it's just like an MP3. It has like a USB slot for a memory stick.
You get USB slot, and you can just. A lot of them are Bluetooth. Works for your iPhone playlists.
Yeah, we won't be doing that kind of rubbish. I'll just have a memory stick and give it a load of MP3s. I don't put music on my phone. I'll tell you what is a great piece of summer music to play when you're in your car. And I have a ritual in my car. The first day of the year that it's warm enough that I can drive around with all the windows open.
Yeah.
There's a ritual. I have to get Jean-Michel Jarre's Magnetic Fields.
Yeah.
And the Magnetic Fields Part 1, the first track. You have to play all the windows down, top flipping volume. I mean, absolutely ear-meltingly top volume.
Yeah.
And drive along. And that's my official, it's now summer. It's like the rules.
The window job.
Yeah, I have to do it on the first summery day where I can have all the windows open. Magnetic Fields Part 1. And then as soon as that finishes, you skip past Part 2 and go to Magnetic Fields Part 3. Tiny little dots.
Da, 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 da.
I've got a really runny nose. Oh,
Highland Boy says, I remember the time the wife said, suit yourself. Found out a couple of days later it didn't mean that it was okay to buy myself a new ham radio. The last time she used that saying. Yeah. I infamously turned my hearing aid on the telly sync because the missus was having a particularly meaningless ramble. I can say that because she's asleep.
You think?
And I just was nodding in agreement to everything she said. Several days later, she came home and she had some shoes, some dresses, bags, the usual paraphernalia. And I'm like, what the bloody hell's this lot? She said, I asked you the other day whether I could go shopping. You kept nodding every time I said I needed a new dress and this, that, and the other. She said, so I went out and used your card. Oh, thanks a lot. A very valuable lesson was learned.
Oh, the most valuable lesson. As in, it actually cost you money.
Yeah, it was like, I won't be doing that again. And she reminded me of it as well.
Oh, yeah.
She said, she says, who thought he didn't get spotted turning his hearing aid off?
Oh, yeah.
It's like, damn, is there anything she doesn't see?
Nope. See, I may not be the most experienced when it comes to relationships and that kind of thing and, dealing with people and all this kind of nonsense. But even I know that when the better half, whoever that may be, when the better half says, yes, if you want.
Oh, yeah.
You basically have to assume that means no.
Yeah. That
no means no, and that yes means no. And that, well, if you want means no.
It's when they're having a slight, I wouldn't say disagreement, but a differing of opinions, and then they look at you and say, what do you think? No. Yeah, and it's like, please don't ask me to make a decision here, because it's like this could be potentially a life-altering decision I'm about to make.
Yeah, it's basically saying, so China or Taiwan? Switzerland?
You sit there and you're like...
Whichever. It's not my argument, but it's all my consequences.
Yeah. I'm like, no, don't put me in this position.
Well, you know what I've learned over the years, the best response to that. You just go, hand up and you go, Switzerland.
Yeah.
Switzerland. I did that a few times with one of my friends. They're like, what do you mean? I said, Switzerland. What do you mean? I'm staying out of it. I'm neutral, mate. I'm not getting involved.
Yeah, not getting involved.
So whenever it came up again, it'd be like, Switzerland. Oh, okay.
Yeah, but I'd get that. The one time I gave you the opportunity of voicing an opinion and you didn't have one. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's when you say, yeah, but I'm a bloke. I don't have an opinion. I'm not allowed to.
I had an opinion, but unfortunately it differed from yours. Therefore...
I had an opinion, and then you bought all them dresses.
Yeah. I chose not to discuss my opinion for fear of repercussions.
Yes, I'm a man. I had it surgically removed when I had my judgment taken out. My better judgment.
Yeah. Yes. That day in 1989 when I lost all my rights to having my own opinion.
Yeah.
That's our wedding day, dear.
We're up to a chat. Let's have a look. Andy McLeish says, suit yourself is up there with whatever and doesn't matter. Or no, it's fine.
Yeah. Or it's on the side.
Oh, it's on the side. Yeah.
It's always on the side.
Andy McLeish says, Fox, I sent you a link to a site that has video game soundtracks. Very kind. Thank you very much. I shall download it.
Absolutely.
Andy McLeish says, careful, incoming marble rolling pin. Yeah, the bobbin says the old, it's fine.
Yes.
Or even the worst one of that is just fine.
Yeah, especially if it's done over the top of the glasses.
Yeah, or if they do that thing where they don't look at you, but they just look into the middle distance and go, yes, fine. Yeah. Doodle-doo-doo, doo-doo-doo-doo-doo, doo-doo-doo. What else we do? I'll just make sure I make it clear seeing better days may be good for a new starter to the hobby. What we're talking about. Anybody ever replaced their spray booth and sold the old one? My old one is beaten up but still working. Not sure is there a market for them. Yeah, just stick it on eBay. If it's working, okay. Don't matter if it's scruffy. If you're offering
someone will always buy it because they might be just getting into the hobby themselves and doing it on a budget.
Yeah. If ever you need to sit there and think to yourself, will somebody buy this thing that's going to be half the cost of a brand new one? Of course they are. Yeah. It's half the cost of a brand new one. Philly says, I found myself really enjoying the radio recently. I spent a few months working alone with no electricity, so I got a mini radio and now I have it sat near the bench.
Oh, fair play, mate.
I sometimes listen to Radio 4, but not very often. I have no interest in 99% of the music, so the radio kind of bores me. And whenever I listen to Radio 4, it's some half-hour factual program about, I don't know, something really not interesting.
I didn't honestly think radio was still a thing, mate. I thought it had gone the way of the dodo.
Oh, God, no. Radio 1 still exists, unfortunately. I've moved Mum to a new GP now. I moved Me Foxx from the GP she was
right,
with.
Yeah, I can remember you saying.
Yeah, because they were just basically rubbish. But the one advantage is that I never have to go and sit in there waiting and listen to Radio Bleeding 1 at top volume ever again. You'd sit in there, you might be sitting there for 25 minutes waiting, and they'd have Radio 1 playing. You know, with some mindless gobshite DJ waffling on about some irrelevant celebrity nonsense. Yeah. And then playing some crappy dance music, and I'd be like, oh God, please just get me out of here quick. I'll be glad I never have to put up with that again. Useless bloody surgery. Right,
so at least it's all sorted though, innit? You ain't got to worry now.
Yeah. Well, I say I popped on my Fox in hospital today for a bit of a checkup and stuff. And the nurse was like, and this is the name and this is the date of birth. And is it this particular surgery? And I'm like, oh, brilliant. She gave me the right surgery name. So it's obviously filtered through the NHS records already.
Oh, good.
So it's like, yeah. Because I said when I signed her up, she was at a surgery where there's like 9,000 patients and a whole mess of doctors. And I've moved her to my surgery, which is literally like 2 doctors and about 6 patients. And when I signed her up, I said, is there any way it's possible? I know it might not be possible, but when you put her in, can you put her under Dr. Such and Such, the same GP that I've got? Because I really like my GP. She's dead nice. And she went, that will be absolutely possible because she's the only doctor. I went, everybody goes under that GP. Oh, brilliant. And they've got a fish in the waiting room, which is nice. And you walk in the waiting room, there's like 6 chairs in reception. Is like, great, I like this, and it's just round the corner.
You got to have some fish.
Mm-hmm. I went in the other day, and I went in for my flu jab, and I walked in, and it was my GP was one of the people doing the jabs. Oh, come in, sit down. How are you doing? And I'd been in about 3 weeks before, and I've only seen her twice, and she started asking me how I was doing, how the medication's going. I'm like, wow, she remembers everything. And then she sat down and she said, I said, I'll need to come and see you in a couple of days anyway for my checkup. And she went, well, it's good you should do that this week because I'm going to be off sick next week. And I'm like, how do you know you're going to get me off sick next week? And she went, no. She said, no, I'm having some surgery. So, oh, right, okay.
Oh, bless her.
I thought, yeah, I'm going to be off sick next week. I thought I'd have a week off sick.
No, I'm pretty lucky with my GP. You know, she just says it how it is, does what she needs to do. Job done.
Panzer's in. Morning all. Just popped in for 10 minutes on a coffee break. Hey, Panzer.
Hello, Panzer. How you doing, mate?
Candygram says, Panzer's last name is the same as my real last name. I was incredibly lucky to get that call sign as a ham radio operator. I literally laid in wait for 12 years before pouncing, literally, the minute it was available. Right, more rust spots. More easy spider pig.
That was good.
I'm still keeping Mama Foxx plied with Dr. Pepper at the minute. For maximum burps.
Straw.
Yeah, for maximum burps. Although she had one today, but she drank it kind of slowly, so she didn't have the big burps. It wasn't as much fun.
Can't have too many straws, mate.
No. Tiny little dots.
Panzer saying, good to see you back at the bench, Cole. Yeah, it's good to be back at the bench, mate. I'm stood up at the moment. But,
all right. Have a bit of standy uppy.
Yeah, doing as me told. Doing everything.
Doing as me told. Doing as me told.
Yeah.
What are you, like 5? Doing as me told.
I am. It's just one of them, isn't it? Got to be sensible, mate.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's that built. So yeah, it's only day 1 at the bench, but I thought, well,
day 1 in the Big Brother house.
If you don't push yourself, you're not going to do it, are you?
No, but if you push yourself too soon, too far, you end up
you're going to undo yourself. It. So you've got this fine balancing act, and it's just finding that sweet spot.
Yeah, I think the simplest solution is to just do whatever H tells you.
I was just about to end on that and say, yes, it's whatever the wife decrees I need to do, I shall do.
Yeah.
No, she's been really sort of good about it. You know, her eyebrows did roll slightly at first, but once she had a good chat with the nurse and any questions she had, she could ask. She came round quite quickly and was like, "Yeah, okay, I'm cool with it now. All right."
But if it turns out tomorrow that you've broken your ass doing this, I'm going to find you and then I'm going to kick your ass.
Oh no, it's a freeway decision that was made today, which was a give it a go and see how you get on.
What you mean is it was a 2-way decision that was made for you?
Yeah, the nurse and H.
Yeah, it's pretty much.
Once they had given their approval and I had stopped sulking.
Yeah. I think it's quite great that you like to think you've got a choice in the matter.
Got to try, ain't you?
It's kind of adorable.
After all these years.
Bless, it's kind of adorable.
Yeah, you think I would have learnt my lesson by now, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I saw the cutest tweet today.
Oh, really?
I don't know why I just remembered this, but basically it was a tweet from a lady who says, "There's a tiny soft cactus in my hallway."
Yeah.
It's not got any spikes on it. It's a little tiny soft cactus. So when I walk past it, if I brush past it, I pretend that I've been hurt just so I can make it feel a bit more confident.
Oh.
So I can boost its self-confidence. I pretend I've been hurt by it.
Oh.
Because it's not a very spiky cactus. I'm like, oh, that's so sweet.
That is, isn't it?
I like to pretend it scratched me so I can boost its self-confidence a bit.
Oh, I've got loads of options now on.
Do you know what we say about options?
Yeah, it's one of those. I've got options on what turrets to go where, but this is a Festa build and it's going to be all the turrets have got to go on it somehow. So
all the turrets, all the time. All.
Yeah, it says you can either have it this way or that way.
To normal people, those are options. To you, they're just ingredients.
Yeah, I'm looking at that lot and the choices, and I'm like, well, all of that can go on it, surely.
Now I know that Chris managed to combine the cow catcher and the big rolling pin spiky roller thing.
Yeah.
Have you got? Does yours come with the spiky roller, or is it on the extra sprue?
No, that's on the extra sprues, but I might have a file.
Oh, okay, yeah, you can print one out. That's fine.
Yeah.
But you can get it all combined. I wouldn't worry about it. I was just looking at the screen then, right, looking at yours and thinking, why is that tank moving on the right side screen? It's me. I didn't realise it.
That's you pilcher.
Yeah, I know.
Do you know what the clue is?
What's
See
the
that
clue?
where it says Colin, Festa 67's workshop. And now I'm looking because my hand hasn't appeared where yours is.
I was just about to make a joke about your if your hand had suddenly appeared there like that.
Yeah.
I would have been well made up.
Yeah, I'm like just about to go and move me on. Like, that'd be a pity.
That's like when you wave at the screen when Mama Foxx says hello, or when Mama Foxx waves at the screen when you say hello.
Absolutely, bless her.
Andy McLeish says options are good, and you know what you do with options? You use them.
Yeah, exactly. I'm gonna pretty much put everything that's on there or in the box on there. So I think I can have a turret on a turret on a turret.
Have you got any spare Beyblade turrets? I bet you haven't, have you?
Yeah, I've got a big box full of spare Beyblade stuff.
There'll be like a load of Beyblade hull pieces that you didn't use.
Yeah.
Like this, like that thing and this bit of hull that would have gone there that you didn't use that one, did you? You used the cans of... Did you?
That's on the Beyblade, yeah. You do realise this means the Insane Blade's now got to make an appearance.
I'm not complaining, unless you have to get up and fart around.
No, but it's there.
Oh, you did, didn't you? That's right. Oh yeah, because you managed to
got that on it as well. And I've got to move. I've got to put that back because I'm trouser 10.
I'm trouser 10. Yes, I want you to tell me how much I need to pay you to make me an Insane Blade. The only thing will be, of course, it couldn't have things like a crow's nest because you couldn't ship that. So
yeah, it would pretty much.
It'd just have to be a flat, Insane
pretty
Blade.
Much everything. Yeah, pretty much everything plastic that comes in the kit on it.
Yeah. So you'd have to tell me. I want you to tell me how much it would cost me to pay you to do that. Factor in the cost of any 3D printing and stuff, and obviously everything else, and time.
Yeah.
And I will give you those monies, and then I will paint it one day. Because I haven't got your level of basically nuts and insanity.
It is a bit mad, isn't it? Let's be honest.
Easy now.
But no, it's. yeah, it is one of them moments, and you see it and you're like, yeah, I'm so glad I built it.
Oh yeah, I'm so glad you built it, because I think if I hadn't managed to basically beat you into submission and get you to do that, you wouldn't be down the Warhammer hole.
No.
If you just built a kit, you know, or just built the Baneblade straight, you'd be like, it's all right. But because I got you to do that, and it maybe got a little bit crazy.
I think that totally different, wasn't it?
It's like when Paul pushes me off a ledge in Destiny. It was basically like that. I just push you off the ledge.
Yeah, it is one of them. You sit there and you think, yeah, what a way to welcome yourself into the world of Warhammer.
Yep. When we do our Orc Stomper group build thing,
yeah,
me, you and Father Dearest, how are we going to do it? Because like obviously you'll be tempted just to mod the living crap out of it, whereas I'll just be building it straight out of the box.
I've got no idea. I'm just going to wing it.
Because there's no point in you having it and not festering it, because it's going to fit with your other orc stuff. Whereas of course I don't have an orc army, so my fun will be painting it, not building it. So
yeah, it's going to be chopped about, isn't it? It's rude not to.
We need to come up. We need to come up with a name for a verb to describe what happens when you get your hands on a kit.
Who, me?
Yeah, you know, I don't think like festering it is really. That doesn't really. We've got to come up with a name for what to call it when you do what you do to a kit. Like I build a kit, but you a kit. You fester a kit. You
destroy a kit.
I don't know. Got to come up with a verb. There's something better than. I mean, we could just say you've just festered it, but I'm sure we can come up with something better.
Yeah, it has to be beautified, doesn't it? I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know what you would call it.
People in chat.
People would.
Yes, that's the people. What people in chat? What should we call what Colin does to kits? What's the verb to describe it? You and I would build a kit. Colin would. I mean, the normal word is like to mod it, or you know, whatever, kit bash it. But I think it's beyond kit bashing, to be honest. What Colin does. Kit bashing's too middle class and simple. And yeah, what Cole does is beyond kit bashing. It's like, you know,
I don't know. You're like, yeah. I just see something in there that perhaps other people don't. I don't know.
Yeah, it's like, you know,
mate.
Normal people might do a bit of kit bashing, but you're like magey level kit bash. You're like a kit bashing master.
I just see something in there and think, well, there's a potential in it.
Needs a tit on it.
Yeah. I don't know. It's funny, I was thinking this about the Stomper the other day, you know, and because I've had a lot of time to sort of sitting thinking about things, as you know.
Hello, Mama Foxx.
Hello, Mum. You sit and you're trying to plan builds like the Kshatriya and that. And I do. I just throw different ideas at myself. I've got to challenge myself.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I find.
I think what you do is, though, it's like, you know, I know with myself, when I was younger, and this absolutely relates to drawing and, you know, 2D art, I would get a piece of paper and I'd get my pencil and I'd just start and see what came out.
Yeah.
But then as I got older, that spirit of adventure disappeared, and I'd sit there and I'd look at the piece of paper and start thinking about what I could do. And eventually that kind of spur of the moment creativity faded away and I became quite hamstrung. And the same thing happened with music.
Yeah.
I used to just sit and fiddle turn the synthesizer on and play with the notes and play with the sounds and see what came out, put things together and see if it worked. As I got older, I lost that ability again and I became more I became less daring and more stuck. And it happens with models as well. You know, I used to be quite daring, and now I sit here thinking, can I do this? Or if I do this next, can I do that later? And then I get stuck in the overthinking it. I think with you, what you do is you just go, need to tit on it, and you just do it.
Yeah, I have this don't think about it mentality. If you sit and think about it, you won't do it.
You've kind of maintained your marvellous childlike innocence, I think, about the whole process.
You know, if I sit there and think I'm tempted to cut that off, I just pick the saw up and cut it off. Yeah. Because if I fault it, it's because I want to do it. Yeah. So why not? Why overthink it? Just get the bloody saw out and cut it off. Yeah,
I think your advantage is that your kit bashing is still at the puppy level. Yeah. And what I mean by that is, to a puppy, everything is brilliant. Yeah. Like, you know, you show a puppy a ball, it's brilliant. You show a puppy a piece of string, it's brilliant. You just show a puppy nothing, it's still brilliant.
Yeah.
So I think you're like this still there. Everything's just brilliant and it's just all fun. Whereas we've all just got old and stuck in our ways.
What's the worst that could happen?
Yeah. The worst that could happen is you mess up.
Yeah, it can mess up. Well,
you mess up your kit or go and buy a new one, there you go. Or do something else with it.
I mean, at the end of the day, if you cut something off the kit and you think, well, I don't like it now, glue it back on then.
Yeah.
How old's that?
Or, you know, if it really messes the kit up, then, oh well, never mind. You'll know better next time. And yeah, you've wasted a bit of money, but you'll live.
Yeah, you sit there and go, well, that didn't quite go according to plan. Lesson learned.
Yeah, now I'll do a diorama with a wrecked tank. There you go.
Yeah, you know, and that's how I look at it. You know, I've made some classic boo-boos on builds before. And I just go, a bit like yourself when you had your happy accident with the WASBomb, battle damage.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Or you can put a bit of weathering on it or whatever. But when it comes to something like the Insane Blade, it was throwaway comments that we was having on the live show. Sorry if I'm going on and off microphone. It's just
it's fine.
Sort of walking about just to
yeah, no, you're fine. Don't worry about it.
So apologies to the audience. I'm sitting back down now, so I should come back into range.
You'll be glad to know it sounds different, but you don't necessarily go quieter, so you're fine. It's not a problem. You can tell you're walking about, but you don't go quiet or anything like that.
Yeah, it was just I was pacing around. No, I mean, when it come to doing Insane Blade, it was us two, like we are now, just chatting about what the plan is with the build. And it was, well, sod it, I'm sure I'll just throw everything in the box on the Bane Blade. And then that was it. I looked at the bits and the different variants, and as I was going through the instructions, everything seemed to merge.
Yeah. Paul DiTomasso's in, by the way. Hey, Paul.
Hello, Paul.
Oh, burpage.
So kind of in my mind, I could see that turret going there, and then that would go on there, and then I'd have to chop that out for that to fit in there, and that was it. It became quite an easy process for me then. But it's figuring that out, and I'm doing the same now whilst I'm thinking about this battle wagon. You know, I can see the options, and now I'm just sort of figuring what's got to be cut for it to work here, there, or everywhere.
Yeah. Phil East has popped off. He said, time to get some sleep. Have a good one, everybody.
See you later, Phil. There you go, mate.
JC Bricks and Bill suggests Festify.
Festify, yeah.
Candygram says Festerization.
Oh, they're coming up with some good ones.
Paul DiTomasso says, Colin, will you be setting up that Google Drive for me to upload those other ORC files to you?
Actually, I'd totally forgotten, but this is the first day I've been at my bench, mate. So I will set that up as I'm having a breather, mate.
For some reason, we're talking about eyebrows. I guess my face may have been in shot. Eyebrows of doom.
Not the eyebrows of doom.
JC Bricks and Builds is in.
Hello, JC. How you doing?
People are talking about, I don't know, I think they're talking about ham radio. CW is no longer a requirement. I think they're talking about ham radio.
Who was it who was asking me about the folder? Was that Paul?
Yeah. Was just about to say neither of them are paying attention to chat. I'm painting tiny little rust specks, so I really can't pay attention to chat. I'm painting things the size of molecules. And I have realised this is probably one of the most subtle chipping jobs I've ever done, so I really can't do a lot of my normal weathering techniques.
Subtle? You? Subtle?
Well, the thing is, the highlight colours are so subtle that if I do a proper all-over wash or filter, they're going to disappear. So I might just have to do a pin wash and then some dust and dirt. I don't know. Beep, 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 boo. People are talking about. I think people are talking about ham radio in the chat, so we'll leave into it.
They say we're not paying attention to chat, and then it's. But can you set me up a folder whilst you're live? Yeah, of course I can. But don't tell me off if I'm ignoring chat. Yeah. Are you a friend of mine on Facebook, Paul?
I do find this painting the little chips quite relaxing.
Let's have a look. See whether he's on there. There he is. There you go. Bosh.
Definitely faster and still looking good, says Edward.
Right, I've messaged you a link, Paul. Yeah, have a look in your messenger, Paul. I've sent a link. I just need you to click it to see whether it navigates you into the folder.
Navigation into the folder.
If I put a test file in there, that might be an option.
Lynn's in. Hey, Lynn.
Hello, Lynn. You all right, my
Hugs
darling?
all around. Yeah, the advantage you had with your creativity and your childlike sort of wonderment at just gluing shit together is that you're doing orcs, which allows itself that nonsense anyway.
Oh, yeah.
Whereas if you were doing just Imperial Guard or something, you don't really have those options, really. So you've got a lot more options to just be to go nuts, basically, with orcs. Which is why I suggested them.
Like I say, because you know your Warhammer stuff and all of that. When I was talking about learning to do it, straight away you was orc.
Yeah, good. If you were just building straight up Imperial Guard or Tau or Necro, you'd be bored because you'd be like, well, I'm just building the kit and painting it, so it's not very interesting. But at least with orcs, you can just do whatever you want.
I've done something productive there. I've remembered to do something because I was reminded to do it.
Ooh, good girl.
But it's done.
Hang on, you don't get points if you remember to do it because somebody reminded you to do it.
Yeah, but I've done it. I've done it. What I'll do is I'll go through my files, Paul, and I'll sort some stuff out.
Candygram says, interesting observation. Orcs do allow for much more freedom. I'd not thought of them that way before. Yeah, if you're the kind of person that likes to scratch build stuff, absolutely orcs are the way to go because you can just, like Carl's done, you can take a Bane Blade and just make it into an orc tank. You can build an orc stomper out of any old kits you can cobble together, basically.
Oh, yeah. And the thing is, you can have fun doing it. That's the key.
Yeah, it's like if I'm building Imperial Guard, I can build a Lehman Russ. That's it. I might be able to stick a different turret on it, but it'll still be a Lehman Russ. Whereas if I'm doing an Orc Lehman Russ, I can put wings on it if I want to. I can make it a dirigible. I could make it a submarine. I could do anything. I'd have to play it as if I was playing a game with it. I'd have to make it playable. But
well, this is it. Go on.
I was going to say you could take a Lehman Russ and stick a Baneblade turret on it. You could take a Wazbomb Dackerjet and put a Lehman Russ turret on that. Anything you want.
I mean, this is the thing, because I don't know the rules or the laws or whatever you want to call it of the game. I don't feel that I'm hindered by them.
Well, you're not going to play the game anyway, are you? So
yeah, so I can pretty much build what I want, how I want, because I want to, because I'm not hindered by a preconceived thing of what I should and shouldn't be allowed to make.
Yeah.
So I'm I've got an extra bit of freedom, I suppose, and
however,
that's what I find appealing about it.
However, that being said, you are not going to sit there and deny that you have had, at some point, you've had the thought, and you've thought, at some point, I'm going to have like 2,000 points of orcs here. I should probably make myself a table. I know you've had those thoughts. Or I should probably learn the rules.
I may have.
At some point, you are going to have like. Go.
Now carry on.
I was going to say, at some point, you are going to have like a couple of thousand points worth of orcs. It's pretty much an army.
I don't know, because I don't know what the points are. I don't know how much I've got to build to achieve that. So that doesn't mean to say that I haven't looked at other people's tables and thought, that kind of looks nice. But
standard 6x4 basically you're making a 6x4 foot diorama. What's not to like about that?
But it's a kind of but I'm not really gonna get out and play the game. So what's the point?
Yeah. Unless you get H into it. Explain to her that she's got a chance to kick your ass.
She does that anyway.
Yeah, but now she can kick your ass in another place. It's another place you can kick your ass. Oh, yeah, good girl. Then you say to her, it's another place you can kick my ass.
Yeah, my eldest boy, he's got a load of Warhammer up in his room that he's pursuing to be built for him.
Okay.
And I was like, pull in your gaming chair. There's the stuff. Feel free. Have at it.
Oh, yeah, get him oh, yeah, man, you should get him painting at the bench with you, just to get him into it.
Yeah. So.
And then it means I've spread the disease even further.
It means I can get him to use the goblin links.
Yeah, good girl.
I'm becoming mercenary now.
You are becoming mercenary. I've done a paint chip that kind of looks like Scotland. Cool.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. Yeah, well, there you go. He'll have a load of Warhammer stuff. You can play him.
See now. Oh, that means I could build a gaming table and put it in the console. No.
Yeah.
Get these faults out of my head.
No.
You're wrong.
I'm always wrong. Even when I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I mean, that doesn't work, does it? See, even when I'm right, I'm wrong. That
is well in your head.
Yeah. Well, it's fine because I've had the Rumpole music in my head for the last week and it's driving me nuts.
Jamie Bone question, has anyone used Ammo by MIG oil brushes and how easy are they to use? Yes, I have, and very mate.
Yeah. They're exactly the same as oil paints, but just imagine you've already thinned the oil paint a little bit.
Yeah.
They're just a bit more convenient than using a tube of oil paint. But they're not really
get to use.
Yeah, they're not designed for painting, where they're designed for like streaking and dot filters.
Yeah.
So they're just thinned oil paints. It's just a more convenient way than having to fart around with a tube of oil paint. But they are great for streaks and filters.
And of course, you get to use the infamous Starship Bay Sludge.
Who? What? Starship what?
Starship Bay Sludge.
I have no idea what that is. That means nothing to me.
Not only do you get Starship Filth, but you get Starship Bay Sludge.
Now I have to say, the oil brush's Starship Filth is not the same colour.
No.
It's bluer and more transparent. It's close, but it's not.
Starship Bay Sludge. Slutty, dirty sludginess.
Sludge.
So yeah, they are good.
Yeah.
like I say, I tend to put a little bit in the corner and then just use another brush to move it around, thin it down a tad.
Yep.
Like I say, it's like doing a dot filter.
Yeah, but you can use the brush like that comes with it and just blop it straight on the model.
Yes.
But the idea is that if you knock it over, the paint's not going to come out.
No.
And you're not having to put a load of paint on a piece of palette and then waste half the paint. You just use what you need, basically. They are good. I've not used them a lot, but that's purely because of the ones I've got haven't really been the colours that I've wanted to use much. Which was
Starship Base Sludge. Oh, got to get some.
Somehow I managed to buy all the colours that I didn't need. So
yeah, I've got about a dozen of them over there. Mm-hmm. Different colours.
Yeah. No, they're good. Steve's in says, "Hi Colin, you look fit and well and rested. It's all lies."
Yeah. No, I feel all right, mate. It's just like anything. Get on with life.
Candygram says, "A friend of mine had me through into..." I'll start that again. A friend had me... God damn it, Fox. I'm reading like Colin now. A friend had me 3D print a bunch of greebles for the orc robot he made using a Mr. Potato Head toy. It looked fantastic.
Oh, wicked.
Yep. Gundam equals freedom, orcs equals freedom, says Edward Leonard. Absolutely.
I like his thinking.
Candygram says, I had a great gaming table. Then I got married. Now my wife has a great sewing table.
Yeah.
How does she sew around all the bits of terrain?
Yeah, I knew that I had issues with my missus when I went to go out to me workshop that I used to have in the garden, which was two 10x12 sheds bolted together. And she had put net curtains on the windows.
In the shed?
In the shed.
They've been covered in mould in about a month.
I'm like, what you been doing? I just thought it would look better with... No, they go.
It's a shed.
It's a shed. They will go skanky as arseholes.
Yeah, they'll go mouldy horribly in about a week.
It's like, bless her.
Shed windows that are intended to be covered in moisture all the time.
Yeah, it's like, no. Oh, but I thought it would make it look better. No, in your mind it does, but in my mind, it's a man's shed.
See, all these people that have like their model making workbenches and stuff in sheds, and the number of people I know that think you just buy a shed and put a table in it. It's like, no, because that means in the winter it's minus 400 degrees, in the summer it's plus 10 billion degrees, and also spiders. And they seem to forget you need to insulate it and put heating in it and proper lighting and seal it properly, and you basically have to make it into a small house.
Yeah, it is one of those. If you're going to do it, it's got to be done right, isn't it?
Yeah, I'd love a proper place to do this, but it's never going to happen.
No, I mean, I used to use the workshop out in the garden, but like I say, the wife, once things had changed for me as they have, it was, I'd rather you be inside, because if you have a bad turn, at least you're indoors.
Yeah.
You're not out in a shed where no one can see or hear you. You know what I mean?
You still need to make sure that some of us have H's mobile number, just in case you take a tumble on a stream and we can't do anything about it.
It is one of them, you know. I will sort that out.
Can you imagine that? You fall under the cupboard in the middle of a stream and we have to text your wife to say, can you come and pick him up?
Yeah, it should be going. I'm in London. There ain't a lot I can do, but my eldest boy, he's here. It's very rare that I'm alone, and when I am, I'm under strict instructions to do nothing.
I've got video evidence of you doing some things when you were left alone.
Yeah.
We'll leave that there, because I obviously want to maintain them for future blackmail purposes.
So
but...
this free Bane blade that you're supposed to be getting.
I can work.
What you're up to.
I can work with those limitations.
I see what you're up to.
No. Yeah, you need to price up. I mean, I don't know how long did it take you to build that one. I don't even know how many hours you put into that.
It was a few live streams, wasn't it? Really, it was the bulk of it.
Yeah, but then it's how much did you spend in like 3D printing filament and stuff and resin and whatever.
Yeah, it's
all the other stuff that goes on top. Price. Stick a number on it and let me know, and I'll
we'll
sort something out.
I'll build you one. It is a thing of beauty, I must admit. I'm just sitting here staring at it now, and I'm like, look away, look away.
The thing is, right? The thing is, when it comes to your own work, it is such a rare thing to do something and then to be able to look at it and actually say, you know what, I'm really proud of that. Like, of all the things,
it's one of them. I want to start painting it, but it's one of those you don't want to finish.
Yeah,
it's just a strange thing with it.
It's like, of all the models I've built over the years, the only one I've ever sat and looked at and thought, that'll do, pig, that'll do, is the Eagle Transporter.
Yeah.
I sat and looked at that and it's like, I really didn't want to give it back. And I don't normally feel that. When I finish a model, I don't normally feel pride. I just go, it's done. And then it goes in the cabinet and then I sell it.
Yeah, I normally form an attachment until it goes on the display shelf. And then because by then you're already into your next build, aren't you? Yeah. And that becomes your new baby, doesn't it? So
yeah, once it's in the cabinet, I stop caring about it.
Yeah, but Baneblade, that one, every time I come out here, I look at it and, like I say, the missus comes out here, my boy comes out here, my youngest lad when they come round, and people that visit Festa Towers are beginning to see it and they're like, what is that? How on earth did you come up with that idea? And it has garnered a lot of interest, I must admit, and I think it will when it comes to painting it and all.
Oh yeah,
because I think it might get a bit of attention on the channel. I hope anyway.
Here's an idea for you if you want to make a little bit of money. Instead of like building and painting a model and trying to sell it on eBay, why not just build ridiculous, insane blades unpainted and sell them on eBay?
Yeah.
Because then you can sell it for the cost of the model plus the cost of all the bits you've added plus X number of hours work.
Yeah, let other people paint it.
Yeah, there you go. And that's only, a couple of days' work for you, and you get a nice chunk of money out of that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's so rare that you ever feel... I mean, I'm speaking for myself, but I'm assuming it's the same for others. It's so rare that I ever feel any kind of pride in my work, because by the time I finish a project, I'm so thoroughly sick of it, I'm bored of it.
Yeah.
I want to move on to the next thing, so I don't really care about it anymore. But with the Eagle Transporter is the only one where I didn't feel that.
Yeah, you don't sit there and go, I've done brilliant work, because for me, that I would be worried that seems arrogant of me,
I never do that.
So... whenever I'm asked what's your best build, I always say my next one. Until I built that. And every time I see it, I think I've got to try and better that.
Yeah, you kind of made a rod for your back.
And coming into Warhammer, it's one of those where every build now has to be, if not as good, but better. And you can't always do that. So I've got to tone it down a little bit, Yeah.
Well, I think the thing with Warhammer is because, for me, the thing with Warhammer is that the builds are such a joy anyway, that the fun is in the painting, not in the building. So, for me, I could say, well, you could say, well, you might have that compulsion to better that every time, but not every build needs to be a complete... Festerization. It might just be that you build a kit just for the fun of painting it, and therefore you don't have to compare it to the Insane Blade. So
this is where the little Lehman Russ ones come in, because they're good little paint mules.
Yeah, not every build will then have to match up to the Baneblade, because some of them you're just going to, once you get confident with your painting, you're just going to be building something for the fun of painting it.
Yeah, and then if the shelf gets full, it'll be, I might sell some of them.
Yeah,
get shot of them, and. Yeah. It opens up a new avenue, but I'm sure there are people out there that would like an insane blade. Oh, I'll happily do one, but again, it's like anything. I did it with a bus where it kind of, I wouldn't say become a millstone around my neck, but after I built the fourth one, I was kind of bust out.
Well, yeah.
And it was like, yeah, I kind of need to, and it's like when I did the E-Models cat, it's like, well, I've done 3 cats now.
Yeah, I'm kind of bored of doing that, yeah.
It's like, yeah, I've done enough of them. Yeah.
Well, it's like me. I'm sitting here. If my Bane blades sell, then at least I know I can. If I need some extra money, I can cobble together a Bane blade and paint it and sell it. And I'll only get faster at doing them. So this one's taken longer because of the complicated colour scheme. But the other one, which is just German grey, this one, it's just German grey. That's a couple of days painting probably from start to finish, 2 or 3 days painting, so I can always rattle one of them off and sell it for a nice chunk of money. But
that's the thing, innit? You've found something that you can knock out quite quickly.
Well, not quickly, but at least it's something I can ask more money for, like a Lehman Russ. I can spend a week painting a Lehman Russ, but I'm not going to get a lot of money for it because it's a Lehman Russ. Bane blade, I can ask for more. And try and make it about the same amount of work.
Let's be honest.
Yeah.
My aim is to get you to build an insane blade style Warhammer build. You could do it, but it's convincing you that you could.
I'm sure I wouldn't have a problem with the physical building stuff, and I think for me it's the lack of that kind of imagination. I don't have that. I don't have that kind of.
And would you enjoy it as much as you do painting? That's the thing. If you're not enjoying the process, then it's not for you. Whereas I kind of enjoy that.
Yeah, I mean,
childlike fantasy.
I don't know, because I enjoy when I'm doing things like adding little rivets and things, little simple bits of modification when I add rivets and little bits of plastic card here and there just to, add a shape or something. I quite enjoy that, but that's because it's simple and I can't really screw up too much. And I'm not having to think. So the actual proper full-on going insane, but I don't know because I don't have that kind of imagination that allows me to think like that. At least not think. I mean,
there was that point, I think it was on one of our lives, where I got all the bits out, and I said to you, I'm at that stage where I've cut so much apart that you're now twitching a bit, going, I've got to put this all back together now. You reach that point when you're doing a kit bash like that, where you think, right, I need to now just revisit my plan to make sure it is all going to work out how I want.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a turret. Suddenly you've cut 2/3 of that away, and you're like, I only want that bit. What am I going to do with the rest of it? I can use that to go bosh, 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 and bosh. Yeah.
Well, that's the bit where I struggle, you see, because I don't know. When I start cutting into something, I go into kind of panic mode. Like, what if this doesn't work? What if this cuts off? What if I can't get it back on? What if I go wrong? What if I take it far too seriously, I think, and therefore I don't have the fun with it.
Yeah, but
even though I know it's just a bit of plastic, and if it goes wrong, I can stick it back on again. But
we're gluing bits of plastic together. There is a thing called super glue and sprue goo.
Yeah.
But I get what you mean, because
I get the kind of panic sweats, and I get the worry.
Yeah,
what if I screw up?
£100 Bane blade is an £100 Bane blade, and suddenly people like me are coming along and cutting big holes out the front of it. And I'm going to put this gun on the front, Fox. Are you, mate? Yeah, look, I've cut and you're going, dude, you've just cut the front off.
Yeah, I'd be sitting there for like 45 minutes trying to figure out how the hell to do it.
And then it all goes together, and you're like, dude, that looks like that should have been there. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, that was designed there.
It's you can see what you want it to be. It's how you can get it there, and then how you can make it look like you've done nothing to the kit. And that for me is the art.
I think it is just a simple thing that boils down to two different kinds of craft You know, there's the practical craft and there's the esoteric craft. And by practical, I mean chopping and cutting and thinking three-dimensionally and knowing that if I take this and put that there, that's going to fit in there. And then by esoteric, I mean the painting and the colours and the arty-farty bit.
Yeah.
And, you know, while I'm not saying I'm good at the arty-farty bit, but while I'm comfortable with the arty-farty bit, because I know if I screw something up, I can probably fudge it and get around it. When it comes
like
to
anything, isn't it? We stick to what we're good at.
Yeah, when it comes to the practical side of it, the practical craft, I've not developed those skills because I've never done them. I mean, I've never spent time working on them. When I was at school, I used to hate woodwork and metalwork because I was terrible at them. Well, I used to enjoy
metalwork, I must admit.
Well, I used to enjoy metalwork in that I was in a classroom that had a goddamn forge in it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a classroom and there's an entire blacksmith's forge just there.
And I'm just now, like red rag to a ball, isn't it?
Yeah, and I'm now like twatting this dirty great piece of iron with a massive hammer on an anvil in the classroom. How cool is that?
Yeah.
And I kind of enjoyed it, but yeah, woodwork, I was no idea. Woodwork, I was like, what? No, what? No, I'm not hitting someone with a hammer. It's not fun. When do I get to hit things, and when am I going to get all the flames? Yeah. Today we're going to learn about miter joints. Wait, does that involve flames? Because that's not fun if it doesn't.
Yeah, exactly. You know, if it's not beating stuff with an anvil and yeah. It
still blows my mind that I was in a classroom that had a blacksmith's forge in it. In the 20th century, there was a goddamn blacksmith's forge in the classroom.
Yeah, you can remember making garden trowels and things like that, and putting metal in the forge and beating the bejesus out of it to form the tangs. And
what did we make? I made a ball peen hammer.
Yeah,
which was a cylinder that you had to put an angled end on, tapered end, and drill out the hole in the middle. You had to make the rod for, the rod for the middle was just take a steel rod and cut it, and then you had to make the hammer piece. This was all. There was no forging involved in this, apart from when it was finished, you had to heat up the handle and dip it in the plastic stuff to plastic coat it. But then I also had to make a thing for a hanging basket that you mount onto the wall.
Oh right, yeah.
Like a bracket, so it's like an angle piece like that with a bit of twirly metal. It's all like twisted, and that was iron, so that was like forging the metal, and you had to forge the metal into like a square rod, and then you had to get it hot and twist it to get the twisty effect. And that was I really enjoyed that. We still got it. I think it's on the side of the house somewhere.
Yeah.
And so I enjoyed that because that was proper like. Yeah. That was like Skyrim and everything.
Yeah, that side of things is what got me into metalwork and building stuff out of metal and welding and all of that lot. I wasn't great at woodwork, but I did like working with metal, warming it up, shaping it, beating it, and yeah.
I think woodwork was just too damn cerebral for me.
Yeah,
it was all like angles and shit, and angles and chamfer this and plane that, and I'm like, I just want to twat it with hammer.
I mean, I can remember my youngest boy, I was teaching him TIG welding when he was 12.
Yeah.
And he took to it so well, and now he's got his own welding gear. He makes metal sculptures and things and sells them at fairs and that, good luck with him.
Awesome.
So it's a skill.
I mean, there was still some measuring and stuff in metalwork for me. I mean, making that ball peen hammer was mostly measuring and filing and cutting. That was boring. Yeah. But anything that involved the anvil and the forge, god damn it, it was a classroom with a forge in it. God damn it.
Anvils, forges, lathes.
I mean, see, I don't know if it's like a common thing in British schools, but I know in some countries, the idea of a classroom with a goddamn blacksmith forge in it is just the most bizarre concept you could imagine.
Well, I think you're like me. You went to a grammar school, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. So our metalwork room had the forge in one corner. You had all the mills, lathes, presses, big pillar drills, English wheel,
all that stuff,
air hammers that you could metal with, and oh mate,
And I'll tell you what, it was the best classroom to be in the winter.
Oh yeah, because it was boiling.
Well, all the classrooms in the main building were kind of warm because they're radiators, but the metalwork room was in one of like the external outbuildings.
Yeah.
And there was a few different. One was the woodwork classroom, and one was the metalwork. The woodwork was upstairs, and the metalwork one was downstairs. And woodwork was always cold, and because it was like horrible single glazed 1960s construct, terrible. But downstairs, the metalwork was always boiling hot in the winter. It was fantastic.
Every now and then, you did that from the forge, wouldn't you? As it coughed.
Oh yeah.
It's like, oh yeah.
But the problem was that like the only thing that put me off both those craft lessons was the woodwork teacher was just not fun at all. He was so tedious. And the metalwork teacher was just like, he'd throw chairs at you. He was a proper northern metalwork teacher.
Oh yeah.
Like, you know, strong bolt. It was like strong Bolton accent, no nonsense.
Yeah.
If you talk over him in class, he'd just throw a chair at you. He wouldn't give a shit. He'd throw a hammer at you.
What is there in this room that I can weaponise for these children? Yeah.
Oh, chair, desk.
Yeah.
You know, he was in his 50s. He was proper working man, northern. Yeah, he wasn't going to take no shit. Not from some snotty teenager.
Yeah, but weren't they kind of the best teachers?
Oh yeah, they were basically Fred Dibner, but like hardcore Fred Dibner if he was in a bad mood.
Yeah, you'd get the blackboard rubber come flying across the room at 250 mile an hour, and they would always hit you.
Yeah,
it would
never miss.
Never miss you.
Never miss. They're just a spot on aim for some reason, teachers. Now all the non-practical teachers, like in the main building, like English and French and biology and stuff, all the the sissy teachers, they weren't scary and they didn't throw things. But the practical teachers, woodwork, metalwork, they were just tough as old boots, those guys. Didn't mess with them. See, our metalwork teacher, you just know, if you went to visit his house in his back garden, he'd have like a traction engine or something.
Yeah, proper old school. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. And probably a fully working miniature railway, straight out of a Pathé newsreel.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
When he's not teaching boys to hit metal together, Bob Dobalina of Lower Throssington on the Wold has a fully working miniature model railway. Of the East Cheam and Chingford Railway of 1952.
Here he is coming around the corner on his steam locomotive. Boop, boop.
I'll tell you the fun thing with those Pathé films is looking up the people that were in them.
Oh yeah,
like the ordinary
interesting lives they had as well.
Yeah, like this guy who's got there's one guy who had like a working model railway, and he'd spend all his time replicating this 1945 railway system and its signals and stuff, and he'd use and it had his son there walking around, and so you'd look him up and he's obviously long dead because this was like 1958, but his son's still around, and his things like, you just find out what happened to them and where they are now, and it's great.
White Gloves is saying naked holly thing sounds interesting.
Wait, what? Naked what?
Naked holly thing sounds interesting. Must be something said in the chat.
We've not been looking at chat, have we?
No, we've not been paying.
We've obviously missed all the good stuff. There you go.
We have missed all the juicy conversation again, haven't we?
Yeah.
See, this is the trouble, isn't it? Yeah. This is where we go wrong. We actually sit and think, we might build something. We shouldn't be doing that.
No. Whoever thought of actually doing work?
Chat's where all the cool people are.
I've actually been painting.
I know.
I mean, it's not painting. I'm painting molecules, but
No, I'm just doing me sub-assemblies and fettling, mate. Now, wrong with a good bit of fettling.
Is it fettling or festeling?
Festeling.
Festeling. There's got to be a better way of saying that.
Yeah.
Festling. Yeah, the thing is, I'm spending all this time painting all these little tiny brown dots. And once I start putting the weathering on, like all the rust on these little skirting pieces here,
Yeah.
all this is going to get covered in dust and dirt and mud. It's all going to vanish. That's why I'm not bothered putting chips on the wheels, because there's no point. They're just going to get covered in dirt and enamel washes and stuff. So, I mean, hopefully it won't all vanish and disappear, but...
Yeah, but you'll know you did it.
Yeah. I'm going to go for more of a... Well, I'm going to go for more of a sandy dust earth tones on these, because... Two reasons. This Corn-to camouflage scheme, or fake, it's almost a Corn-to camouflage scheme. You always used to see it on like Matilda tanks from the Desert Rats. And
Yeah.
They always had that kind of dusty desert dirt on them, which always looks really good with the Corn-to scheme. And the other one's German grey, and German grey always looks fantastic with light coloured dirt and dust. I don't know why, it just does.
White Glove says, has anyone built a Ryefield model kit? He's thinking of trying one out. I've got 3 of their tanks in my stash, mate. And I'm going to be building one of them in about a month's time, mate.
They are very good.
Very good, very detailed. Yeah.
They're kind of considered one of the professional level armour kits.
Yes.
Like the very expensive TACOM kits or the AFV club kits. They're the kind of...
Yeah.
Not professional end, but the quality and detail is so good that they're considered like the kind of like museum level kits.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean. They're so detailed. They're very good, basically. They're top end kits.
Dogs, mate.
Yeah, do expect though, if you've never done individual track link tracks, just prepare yourself for that. I've never done individual track link tracks, and I probably never will, because I don't hate myself that much. I was gonna do the Ryefield Panzer. Is that your reminder?
Yeah, that's my reminder to get the missus up in the set.
All right. I was going to do the Panzer Aus G 3 models.
I've got one of them in my stash, mate.
Yeah, I was going to do that, 3 models, until I realised... Well, then I realised it had the individual track links, and I got a bit nervous. And then Tony kind of volunteered to take it off my hands, so he's doing that for them now. Well, Pete Mate asked me if I wanted to do the Millennium Falcon, and that got me out of doing the Aus for G.
Yeah.
Aus für J. Right, we've been going for a couple of hours, so we should probably call it a night for your...
Yes, that was my cue of doing a stream until the wife needs to be got up. So,
yeah, well, I've actually finished the chipping now on the main body of the tank, so we've timed that perfectly.
Oh, you're
I've just got to do the turret and sponsons tomorrow, so cool.
I've got all me sub assemblies built, mate.
Nice one.
All of that lot.
Nice.
All of that.
That.
All of that.
Well, these are all the official sub-assemblies.
Yeah, doodage to go in there and
Oh, yeah.
trackage and that. So, yeah. So there's going to be some alterations. I've got some bits and bobs left over from Baneblade that can get added to it as well.
I'm trying to think how you could add to that, and for some reason,
I want it towing something for some reason.
Yeah, well, I was thinking for some reason, for some reason, just the idea of catamarans came into my head.
Oh, right, yeah.
Like having something on the left and right attached, but I don't know if that would work. Wouldn't really work.
Oh, right, I'm with you, yeah.
Yeah, like a catamaran whole boat, so you have one on either side,
Yeah.
but I don't really know if that would work.
Hey, mate, this is early stages on this build, mate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's me. What gets me is the kit is so cheap. It's like, what, 25 quid or something?
Yeah.
because, and this is where Games Workshop stuff can be a steal, because it's not very useful in game, I don't think, and it doesn't cost a lot of points, so it's not an expensive kit because they expect you to buy a load of them.
Yeah,
but it's a lot of plastic for 25-30 quid, so you do actually get a lot for your money there with that one.
Well, this is it. I mean, that there was the same price as what I paid for the Sentinel. You know, and
for the amount of building and painting we can get out of that, because we're not playing it in a game, it's a steal. It's like 2 old Tamiya tank kits. That.
Yeah. It's like the little Lehman Russes.
Yeah, but twice.
You know, simple build, but you get the pleasure then of doing a nice paint job.
Yeah. So that's one of the rare kits where it's actually, they're charging you a lot less than it's actually worth, which is great.
Yeah.
Paul Di Tommaso sent you a message.
Oh, was he?
I guess he's not been able to get in or something. I don't know.
Oh, I don't know.
You'll find out when you check it in a bit.
Yeah, he says it finally let him in and he had to place a request for access. Let's have a look at it.
Oh, did you not make it accessible? Yeah, you go.
Yeah, it is accessible to all people that have the link. Same as what yours is.
No.
Yeah, it's one of the first things I do.
Lynn Dipple says, I'm very tired, gents. I'm going to say night-night. Take care. Catch you all later. Come by James' stream at 1 p.m. I'll be there continuing the Lego Saturn 5.
Yeah, there you go.
JC
that should work all right now.
Cool. JC Bricks and Bill says, oh, a bit of whiskey in the jar there.
Yes. I was trying not to name the track in case YouTube's algorithm picked up on it.
Oh, yeah. White Glove says, for anyone in America, all Ryefield model kits are on sale right now at Sprue Brothers website. This weekend only. Candygram says, great to see you back, Colin. Thanks for the live stream. Take care, everyone.
That's all right, mate. Glad to be back, mate.
That's all right. I've got the big Trump brewing, which will probably come out the moment you finish streaming.
I'll
clean my brush tomorrow. I can't be bothered cleaning my brush tonight. I'll clean it tomorrow.
So make sure she's up.
Try and sound like, what's it from Millionaire? Hello!
Hello, Dove. You all right, yeah?
Yeah, I'm up now.
All right, mate. See you in a bit.
See you in a bit.
Bye.
Bye.
Hello, Mrs. H. She can't hear me.
She can't hear you because I've got my headphones on.
Are you going to tell her that she was on the internet?
No.
Because we all heard that.
She'd kill me.
Good job she don't watch it, isn't it?
Yes, don't. Being married to me is bad enough. Why would she want to watch me as well?
Yeah.
So I love you too as well, my dear.
So you heard it there, folks. Don't tell H that she was on the internet. At all.
Says the person who has incriminating video evidence of me touching her cooker.
You've been touching her knobs.
Yeah, might have been. I'm not scared.
You're not scared. You can put on a brave face when you need to, can't you?
Yeah, definitely. White Glove says, thanks for a great stream. Glad to see you, Cole. Take care, everyone. Brilliant.
Yep.
Nice to be back, folks. Hopefully next time we pay a bit more attention to the chat because
nonsense. Yeah, not if we're painting.
We do ramble. We know we do, but yeah, we try our best.
Yeah. People only, if we didn't ramble, we'd just be two dudes painting something and that'd be boring.
Yeah. Oh, Claire's in. Hello, Colin. She says, glad to see you back and getting better. Hi, Fox. Everyone in the chat. Hi, Jeff.
Hey,
Candygram from Mongo.
Hello,
Claire. You all right, my darling? Thanks for popping in, darling. We're literally just coming off. But, yeah, I'm back. I'll do a couple of hours of show and see how I get on.
Yeah, let me know tomorrow morning how you've gone.
Well, yeah, I mean, my wife, when she'll come down, she'll check me back anyway, just to make sure.
Yeah. No, I might not be here next week, just so you know.
No, that's all right, mate. I totally know the reasons, mate. Not a problem.
Yeah. I mean, there's no reason not other than I might just be absolutely knackered because on Friday next week I have to get up at 6 a.m. for something, so...
yeah. No, that's not a problem, mate.
I might be,
not a problem.
but I might not. We'll see. We'll see how it goes.
See how it goes, mate. You got my number.
I might just be asleep. I've got your number, but I've also got your messenger. So
yeah, the land of noddage.
Yes.
Right then, we'll come off then and let everyone go off and do their thing, and catch up with everyone soon. Thanks for joining us.
Yep.
Stay safe, and we will catch up with you on the next show.
Yep. Be good. Wear a mask. Adios,
Salah,
amigos.
folks. Bye.
Bye.